Hi YouTube, this is JTrain997 and I'm back this time with my review of the Neca Jonah Hex series, Quentin Turnbull. Of course, if you're unfamiliar with the character, this is the big nemesis in Jonah Hex, one of the only reoccurring villains. So get a good look at him in the packaging here. Of course, in the movie, John Malkovich is going to be portraying Quentin. And as you can see here, Quentin comes with his hat, his trademark cane. Although in the movie they changed the color of the eagle top cane from gold to silver for some reason, not 100% on that. He comes with a sack mask from one of the train robbing scenes and his pistol. I believe it's a pistol. Of course, down here you get a sneak peek at the Jonah Hex motion comics. Of course, those are from the Joe R. Lansdale series, and I was never huge on those. I never understood why. Those are the three minis that really added all the supernatural stuff to Jonah Hex. I always like my Jonah Hex to be more grounded in the real world. Of course, back here he just has a little, the website to go to for the motion comics. Tells you they're a little graphic, blah, blah, blah. Up here, a wanted poster of Lila, Jonah Hex, and Quentin Turnbull, and it says, "Capture them all." Over here on the side, you have a little character spiel, and it says, "Quentin Turnbull's burning eyes are windows to the madness and cruelty within. Losing his beloved son in the flames of the Civil War sparked a new fire within him, a hatred of Jonah Hex, transforming Turnbull into a megalomaniac bent on wreaking terror in the newly reunited United States. Still tormented by the fall of the Confederacy, he plots a vengeful attack on the U.S. citizenry in hopes of lighting a rebellion. The only thing standing in his way is Jonah Hex." So, very interesting. Of course, this guy looks fantastic. That being said, let's pull this bad boy out of the packaging. And here we have Quentin Turnbull out of the packaging. Now, unfortunately, I do need to get onto something pretty quickly. It seems like the way they designed the legs of this figure, as you can see, it's kind of an awkward angle there. They really wanted you to have to use the cane like this, because if he leans forward, he's putting all of the weight on the cane, and, that's fine. But if you twist his legs just ever so slightly, the figure becomes top-heavy, and his hat goes behind the desk. Crap. 1 second, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. But, anyways, as you saw, there's definitely, I don't know if Neca purposely did this, where, you would have to have the cane to have the figure, stand correctly or what, because it's a very key element to it. Now, that doesn't bother me as much as it would on any other figure, because, the cane is important to Quentin's character, and I would never pose him without it. But if they're going to go as far as making a small issue in his legs where we have to have the cane, I think they should make a note about it on one of their websites. But other than that, of course, he has his removable hat, as you can see here. And he has his sack mask, which strangely enough isn't really a sack as much as it is a piece of cloth with 2 eye holes, which you just kind of drape over his face here. Make sure I got it on right. And as you can see there, the way it kind of lays over his head. Come on, stand up. And I don't know, he looks like more of a Western Scooby-Doo villain. So, I don't know. I definitely don't dig the look of the sack mask, or the fact that it's not really a sack mask, it's just kind of a drape thing. I wasn't going to display him with it anyway, so not a huge deal, for me, at least. Of course, he also comes with his pistol, which fits nicely in his hand. As you can see here. Stand up, Quentin. Get your cane. Some pretty nice detail on the pistol as well. Of course, he also has a holster, which is pretty well hidden by his coat, which is a shame because it has a lot of great detail on it. Let's fold his coat back. Some very nice detail. Of course, his pistol can go right into his holster and stay there if you'd like. Of course, let's get him staying. Of course, let's pull the cane out of his hand for a second here. Of course, I don't think he'll stand without it. Let's try, though. As you can see here, I don't know if there's some way I'm twisting the legs wrong, but it definitely seems like there's no way he can stand without the cane, which, yeah, I'm giving up on that. Of course, Neca will be making a full-scale replica cane. Of course, some amazing detail on there. all the way down. So, that being said, let's pan back out and go on to Quentin's articulation. Actually, let's go on to his detail first. We really only got to look at the holster. Which I'm going to need to put his cane back in his hand really quickly. It's a pretty tight fit for the cane. I guess that's a good thing, seeing as it has to be in there to have him stand up. Actually, wait a minute. Thought I had him standing there. Wait, I found a pose he can stand without the cane. Hooray. Although technically he does still have it in his hand. So, let's get this put on the ground. So yeah, I may be incorrect. Maybe you can get him to stand without the cane somewhat. Of course, a fantastically detailed head sculpt. You know, a great deal went onto his holster. I mean, Neca definitely never skimps on the detail. Even though the holster is covered by the coat, there's definitely some great detail on that. All the way down to his spurs. And there's even some mud caked onto his boots. Oops. So, overall, Quentin Turnbull, while these haven't showed up in a lot of stores yet, they're supposed to run you somewhere in the area of about $17. I think that's what we've been hearing. But you can get all three of these figures, Jonah Hex, Quentin, and Lila, offline right now for $40 shipped off eBay, which is a very good deal. As I've said before, I pre-ordered these and I paid quite a bit more for that. Oh, but I'm almost, slipped my mind. I was going to go on and not do his articulation. Sorry, guys. Quentin's articulation. He does a full 360 at the shoulders, goes out, spins and bends at the elbow, and has a ball-socketed wrist. Same for both arms, of course. Head does what looks to be a difficult full 360s. Full 360 degrees, I mean. Up and down. Turns at the waist, and both his legs swivel, although it's good to just find that one pose and keep him there. At least that's what I recommend. So, once again, pretty good articulation. I know a lot of people complain that Neca's legs are not fantastic, but, it doesn't really bother me that much. At least if a figure couldn't stand at all, then that would be an issue, but seeing as he needs his cane, I can't really complain. Okay, so putting that in there, putting that back on there, and boom. So anyways, guys, Quentin Turnbull definitely seems to be geared towards more fans of the series, because if anyone else picks this up and doesn't know the character has to have his cane, I think they'd be pretty ticked off if the figure couldn't stand on his own. But if you're a Jonah Hex fan, I am going to recommend him. The only real flaw I have with this figure is that his, the way he's designed, he has to have the cane. I really can't make up my mind if I hate that or if I love that, because the character, once again, in the continuity, does need his cane. So that being said, this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.